After her series Fleabag, Phoebe Waller-Bridge became sort of the darling of the woke feminists in Hollywood. We saw her influence in Solo: A Star Wars Story, in the latest Indiana Jones film, and also in the latest James Bond film, No Time to Die. And she was set to take over a whole nother franchise with the upcoming Tomb Raider series from Prime Video. However, a rumor suggests that could be canceled. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post new vidcasts, and consider becoming a channel member. So Phoebe Waller-Bridge has really inserted herself into a lot of franchises simply because she is a woman. She likes to ride the wave of third wave feminism right into Hollywood infrastructures. She had a lot of input in the writing of No Time to Die, and a lot of people criticize her additions to the script. She also had a lot of influence in the latest Indiana Jones. That's even more apparent because she's basically Harrison Ford's co-star in the movie. And all this because she had one successful comedy called Fleabag. But anyway, I digress on that. She obviously is friends with Kathleen Kennedy, as she has been in both Star Wars and Indiana Jones. But I do think it's kind of interesting how this woman, just based on one little comedy on a streaming service platform, just got propelled into writing rooms, into producer roles, into casting director roles, and everything in between just because she wrote and starred in Fleabag. Well, she was all set to take over another beloved franchise, that being Tomb Raider. Now, not a lot of information was out there about Tomb Raider, just that it was going to be through Prime Video, which is Amazon's streaming service, and that Phoebe Waller-Bridge would be the showrunner of it. And that really concerned a lot of fans because of the havoc she wreaked on James Bond, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars. So a lot of fans were concerned about this. However, some people are saying that this franchise could be dead in the water. A new rumor alleges that Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Amazon MGM Studios' planned Tomb Raider series is dead. The latest rumor comes from Alison Boshoff at the Daily Mail. She shared, "Sources say the idea of bringing Lara Croft to the small screen is dead." Amazon source reportedly told her, "I hear that is not going ahead." The show appeared to be on rocky grounds already, with a number of reports indicating it might never come to fruition. At the end of March, Puck's Matthew Bellany shared that Phoebe Waller-Bridge and her team had given tens of millions of dollars and 2 writers' rooms, and there's still no script. He also noted over at Puck that Waller-Bridge had originally been given a $20 million a year deal by former Amazon Studios head Jennifer Salke back in 2019, and the deal was renewed after its 3 years expired despite Waller-Bridge not producing anything. However, following the reports that he shared another one that Amazon MGM Studios had renegotiated its deal with Waller-Bridge to a non-exclusive first look deal for significantly less money. Before these reports, Leslie Goldberg at Puck shared that the show was on rocky ground and many Hollywood insiders believed it would never come to fruition. She reported, in August 2024, Amazon is now searching for a star to play Lara Croft in a live-action Tomb Raider series written by Waller-Bridge that has many insiders placing bets on whether it will ever come to fruition. One insider allegedly told the outlet that's a deal for saving face. Jennifer Salke attempted to tame those rumors in October, telling Variety, "Tomb Raider is really exciting and Phoebe is well into it and working in close partnership with Tomb Raider general manager Dallas Dickinson and the game producers, and it's going to be very exciting." However, she concluded, "But I don't have any new updates." The Tomb Raider series was originally announced back in May 2024 with a press release stating, "The Tomb Raider series was originally announced back in May 2024 with a press release stating, today in its inaugural upfront presentation, Prime Video announced that it has ordered a Tomb Raider series with Phoebe Waller-Bridge set as writer and executive producer. The series is based on the iconic Tomb Raider video game franchise, which follows the adventure of world-famous archaeologist and adventurer Lara Croft." It added, "The project comes as part of a deal between Crystal Dynamics and Amazon MGM Studios, originating with DJ2's first look deal with the studio to develop additional Tomb Raider stories into the series and films. Tomb Raider will premiere exclusively on Prime Video in more than 240 countries and territories worldwide." Waller-Bridge commented on the announcement at the time, "If I could tell my teenage self this was happening, I think she'd explode. Tomb Raider has been a huge part of my life, and I feel incredibly privileged to be bringing it on television with such passionate collaborators. She added Lara Croft means a lot to me, as she does to many, and I can't wait to go on this adventure, bats and all. If the series is indeed being scrapped, it might be a sign that MGM Studios is truly moving in a new direction and might even be following the advice of the company's founder, Roy Price, who called for Amazon to redevelop all projects that were tainted by Saki's attitude and ideology. He said all of these shows were being developed or redeveloped from scratch. Honestly, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is one of these insufferable British celebrities who just got famous because she did one or two decent things and is now got propelled into it on that Me Too echo that allowed a lot of mediocre, talented women and men at best to just sort of bubble to the top. With for the men's part, it's because they were perceived as allies. They weren't as toxic as other celebrities of the past. So they all got bubbled up to the top on this Me Too wave, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge just took it and ran with that third wave feminism and inserted it into your beloved franchises. And she was going to do the same with Tomb Raider. I would bet you dollars to donuts Phoebe Waller-Bridge has never played Tomb Raider in her life. If she played any video game at all, I would say that would even be up for debate. A lot of these celebrities, they grow up with silver spoons in their mouth, and then they want to pretend that they're one of the fans, even though they hate the fans. That is plainly obvious. A lot of these studios and their celebrities and their acolytes and their executives, they always want to go after the fans and call us toxic. Now, me personally, I'm not a Tomb Raider fan. I've never seen any of the movies. I've never played any of the games. From what I hear, the previous attempt to make a Tomb Raider film angered a lot of fans because she was so out of character compared to the movies with Angelina Jolie, and especially with the video games. I also heard that about the latest video games, that everyone was kind of disappointed with how they redesigned her character. Again, they changed her personality, and I've never played the games. I want to reiterate that, so I can't say for sure if that's a thing that happened, but just from what I've heard from other reviewers and fans of the video games and the original films, that is true, that it was all changed in recent years thanks to influencers from DEI and ESG and the woke and whatnot, people like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And listen, I'm not saying Phoebe Waller-Bridge is completely untalented. She seems like a decent actress at least, but I just don't understand how a lot of these mediocre actors and actresses just bubbled up in this, wave when, we've got to purge the toxic out of everything. People like Jared Leto, who, he's completely untalented. The man just makes weird faces and talks in a creepy voice, and everyone's like, oh, look how good he is. Let's give him an Academy Award. No, it wasn't even that good in American Psycho. I hate to break it to you, but I digress on that. So hopefully Amazon actually is changing things. They are cleaning out house. Jennifer Salke was basically the Kathleen Kennedy of Prime Video. They were supposed to do a Conan the Barbarian series, but then she actually canceled that deal. So they had to deal with a good group, with a good television production team, and she canceled it because she thought the elements of Conan the Barbarian would be too toxic. There's those words again. So what happened? That production team, they went to Max and made House of the Dragon for HBO. And that series is widely successful. So I'm glad Jennifer Salke is out, and hopefully Tomb Raider will go in development, but with a good television production team behind it, and not someone who just got famous because she was in a show called Fleabag. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. It's a great way to support the channel. You can also support me by heading over to my website, studiojakemedia.substack.com. You can sign up for free to read my articles, and I have several subscriber exclusive articles that are available, so you have different subscription tiers. That's another great way to support this channel. You can also support me by checking out my novels. I've got 4 out right now, and I assure you the politics will not be heavy-handed like in the works of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. First off, We have Cacophony, A Tale of Faith and Fear. It's a supernatural thriller about angels warring with demons for the souls of a small Texas town. We have the Seven Royals series. It is a high fantasy action series that stars your favorite fairy tale characters who are defending their land against a dark army of werewolves, orcs, and evil mages. Book 1 is All Good Things. Book 2 is Breaking the Stars, and the third one is on its way. Last but not least, we have Blessed Child. It is my latest fantasy romance novella. It is about an elf princess who discovers she is pregnant with a human child. This sends the elf kingdom into chaos, and her father, the king of the elves, has to take action by hiring a disgraced knight who's on the path of redemption to become her bodyguard. The two become unlikely friends as they navigate the turmoil around them. It is about courage under fire, it is life affirming, and I really think you would enjoy it. Pick up one or all four at Amazon.com. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. And if you want more information about my books, head on over to studiojakemedia.locals.com, where you can also read some of my short stories and poems. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.